So, today I'm going to go through start to finish on one of our most popular um, earring designs, and that is the Pili design. Now, this design was one of our original, when I first started making earrings, let's see, was it about 2 years? I want to say 2 years ago, or coming up on 2 years. This was a design that when I was in Japan, I woke up in the morning and I had this revelation, and I was like, okay, this is a Pili design. It's supposed to bring in strength and I guess it all my earrings have some sort of intention put onto it, yeah, and this was supposed to bring strength and to bring in all things together. So Pili means to bind, bring things together. So I start off with a koa piece like this. This is a very high grade koa. When I say high grade, a koa has about 45 different levels of grades, yeah, so, or 45 different grades, and it goes from construction koa, which doesn't have much grain patterns in them, all the way up to something like this, which would be considered like anywhere between 40 to 45 grade with this koa. And when I say 40 to 45 grade, we're talking that the curls are really strong, so there's a lot of feature on top of this. You can't see it too much right now, but once we finish it, you're going to start to see the grain patterns in here. This is considered, instrument grade or exhibition grade koa. It's a very, very high koa. Extremely expensive. But, so I choose to make my earrings out of extremely high grade koa. So you get a lot of the features in it. But I'm going to show you how to make this Pili. It's made out of koa, and I use 2 different types of contrasting color wood. So this is a Birdseye Maple that I cut down to a really thin strip. I believe this one sits at about, let's see here, just about 3 millimeters. And this one here is about 3 to 4 millimeters. So they're kind of like the same width of it. But we're gonna actually cut it cross. This is gonna be 3 cuts within this. We're gonna cross it all together, and I'm gonna start to do this on a regular basis, showing you how I make these earrings. But also, I want to introduce another series that we're planning on doing, and it's called Manao Mondays, and I'm going to try to do Mo'olelo Mondays. Thank you, Pono. Mo'olelo Mondays are I want to explain the different earrings that we have, what it means, and everything that we how to wear it, what comes along with it. So this is by request from some of our customers to ask, and they're asking more information on those. But we're gonna start that probably next week Monday, and I want to do a in the shop demonstration, maybe every week, once a week or once every other week. We'll see how it goes. But we're gonna start with this particular series as doing the Pili. I'm gonna start. So I have my son on the phone. He's doing the live video. He's doing his shoots. We're gonna actually walk around our shop. This is my shop here, my wood shop, and we'll go through the different cuts. These 2 machines are my bread and butter here. This is a belt sander. This is a bandsaw. Very important. I use the Ryobi. It's not the best quality, but it is affordable, and it is small and compact. It fits within my space. The only problem is they do break down a lot. I think the last time we were on a live video, this broke. I had to replace this just a few days ago. But I like it. It works within my shop. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get more high quality stuff. But I work in a very tiny workspace here, so I gotta utilize what works for this space. So this first cut, I'm gonna actually cut this so that this kind of like cuts like right here. We're gonna lay this on right there. Okay, first cut. Now we're gonna even this off and get a really nice smooth surface so we can bond this together perfectly. So the first bond is this way, and the way I bond it is I use CA glue, which is CA stands for cyanoacrylate. I can never say that. I can never pronounce that on a regular basis. So I just say, a lot of us in the business, we just say CA glue. And this is a thin viscosity CA glue, and I use this to bind these because I like this one. It absorbs within the wood. My son, who works with me in the shop, he chooses not to use this process, but this is the process that I use because I get an immediate bond, and it's fairly strong. I'm not really worried too much about strength right now, and I'll show you why a little bit later. So that's the first cut. Okay, now we're going for the second cut. The second cut, I'm going to cut this way. And this is an ebony piece that I have, and this is gonna contrast the colors, and I'm gonna cut it like red. Okay, we're back. So sure, that'll work. Of course, like most woodworkers, you make your mark, but it's not anywhere near. Okay, let's see here. Okay, that looks pretty straight. The object here is to make these look seamless, so that when you finally get it, in there it looks like it's one piece, like it was intended. Let's get that immediate bond. Oops, hey, stay. Clean the finger. Ah! Glue's in the finger. This happens to me all the time. I always have glue on my finger. So this CA glue is like an industrial strength super glue, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm so used to sticking glue on my fingers. I'm not afraid of it anymore. First time that happens, you're like, oh my goodness, I stuck glue on my finger. I got it all stuck together. Rip off my skin. No, I'm so used to this already. But let's get this one. Now the last cut. See, that was the first one. Second one. The last cut, we want to kind of like come in like this. Okay, almost kind of something like this, so that you have 3 intersecting cuts. But here we go. Now, this is the most tricky cut because when we put it in here just like this, you notice they don't intersect. And this can frustrate people who's gonna do stuff like this. So the idea is you need to shave down all of these until they actually fit. This was the most trickiest cut. To make it look like it's all intersecting each other, both front side and the back side. Okay, let's glue this in. I do use an accelerator every once in a while, and this actually pretty much makes the glue activate immediately. Okay. So you have three intersecting lines. Like I said, it's Pili means to bind, means to bring things in together, and that intention once again is to bring harmony, bring strength. So this is one of those earrings that you want to wear to make a statement. Sometimes I would say you want to this is the earrings that you want to wear when you're going to a job interview, where you really want to kind of like get that whole intention of bam, this is, you know, make that statement. It makes you feel good, makes you feel beautiful, makes you feel fine. So I have a lot of these templates here I draw out. So this is the basic, and I'm gonna cut and shape it out. We get the final look. Okay, now we're gonna cut it in half. So that's how we get two identical pieces for each ear. Okay, now we have two identical earrings, yeah. Both sides. Okay. When I use this, I don't know how many times I've actually done this and jumped out and crap. That's what happened. Yeah, I apologize once again, guys. And it's the internet's always a little shoddy in the shop here, but we're gonna continue. And if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. You know, that's. Hi, Lisa. All the way from Yokohama. How's everything? I hear you have snow. You have snow in Tokyo today, ne? I know, of course. We don't have snow when we go. Mama Kanaks, aloha. Okay. So this is a process that, you know, over the time that I've learned what works for me. Oops. Me. Okay. This is a contraption that I built. I wanted to be able to use my handheld sander, flip it around so that I'm not doing this, you know, holding the sander up like this and, you know, doing that. Instead, flipped it up so I can actually use a piece on top here. Like that. So I have a couple of different grits that I use. So because the shape is already there, I'm gonna actually utilize this sander to just kind of refine the edges and make it smooth. So let's start with this 320. Okay, now we're going to start the finishing process. This is one of those secret things that I don't keep secret. And a lot of you who have bought my earrings within the recent time notice that there's a real high gloss shine. And this is how I do it. And I use this particular method because I've had problems before when I was making these, and that, you know, the glue bond would, you know, the earrings would break. And it's that, you know, it's strong. This is a very strong bond. However, when you go to different areas where the maybe change in moisture, change in temperature, the glues were not holding up enough. And, you know, so, you know, sometimes it falls on the ground and it'll break. It's to break my heart. But I have a new process that I use, and I used to use this process for making Koa pens and whatnot, and it's a CA glue finish. The same glue that's in here to connect these together is the same glue that I use to put the finish on top, and I'll show you. It's a real high gloss finish. There's a technique in this that's not easy. So some people say, you're giving way too much secrets. It's not a secret to me. You can find it on the internet. But this is a process that I've been using for years on creating a real high gloss finish. But also for this is important because it puts a glue finish on top and it solidifies all of my cuts. So it won't break. And it's very extremely strong and durable. So I start off with the thin viscosity. And the thin viscosity is to soak into all of these pores. And it's going to go into all of this, it's going to go into all the wood. And it's like hands, just it's going to connect them all together and solidify them. So I try to put a bunch of different coats on top of this. And basically what we're doing is we're just layering. We're layering coat upon coat upon coat upon coat. And now once you see this, once you see the glue on, now you can start to see what the grains look like in the koa. You see really high. The grains are really high, and I choose particular pieces of koa like this where the grains are really tight. So it's not every koa piece and not every high grade koa slab that I get is going to give you the same effect. But I try my best to try to assume what they're going to look like in the end. I just put coat upon coat upon coat on the thin. The thin viscosity. It okay. Okay, now after the thin, I go to the thick. Now this is where we're going to add up the layers and like I said, there is a technique in here that is not easy. Sometimes it takes years to learn this technique. If not years, a lot of frustrated weeks and months, because this is not a technique that's easy. I mean, failing and trying over and over again, and just, you know, I've been frustrated. I've seen a lot of people get frustrated with this technique also, but it's so extremely rewarding once you understand it, once you get the technique and figure this out and can do it on a regular basis. And even myself, I mean, I've been doing this for years, and still I fail sometimes. Okay, so once I got these here, then I hit it with the accelerator. I'll let it dry a little bit before I move on. Okay. Second coat. Okay. We'll let it dry a little bit more. And once again, all I'm doing is just putting layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. If I don't do this properly, when I start sanding it down and taking off the layers, can burn through it, and you gotta start it all over again. So if you see, this is where all the glue dried. We got many layers on it, and there's a lot of undulations over here. So now the process right now is to flatten everything out to where there's no undulations, and we'll start with a 320 grit. Okay, so you can see a lot of the undulations are, so everything is kind of like, it's not shiny, it's a little dull, but that's very important to get to this point here. But everything is flat, right? It's not shiny anymore, but everything is flat, because now comes to the last process here. final pieces. And you can see the beautiful, brilliant shine in there. All the way around. Sometimes you still have little bits of rouge on there. And it just easily comes off. Just gotta wipe it off. So this is our final product. This is our final thing here. And click this off. This is what it looks like.